Good Sunday evening, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of the BATTLIN BUCS podcast. I'm Mason Sapesky, your host. Today we're going to recap the past week for the Pirates. They spent the week in the Midwest battling against the Milwaukee Brewers and the Chicago Cubs. Fortunately, like I said last week, the Pirates would be lucky to win one game on this trip. They proved me very wrong. They won 4 games on the trip, and they took the road trip 4 games to 3. I'm very happy with the way they played this trip. It was a very good trip, so let's get right into it. Starting out on Monday night, the Pirates defeated the Milwaukee Brewers by a final score of 8-6. This was a good game. I mean, we played hard. Keller pitched amazing, and he showed what kind of pitcher he could truly be. This was very much an impressive game, so I was very pleased by the way they played. Unfortunately, we did almost blow it after a home run. But that's okay because we did hold on to win. And we got a crucial win. So really, in the end, that's all that matters. On Tuesday night, we played the Brewers and we lost to them by a final score of 4-3. This was not a bad game, but certainly not a good one either. One we could have very much easily won. We were down big, like 4-1. Then we cut back into it. Made it a 4-2 game, and then down to the final strike, Connor Joe hit a home run off Milwaukee's closer. I forget what his name is, but he had a grand slam off him before when he was in Colorado, so he kind of owns this guy. But Joe hit a home run off of him, made it 4-3. Unfortunately, the Pirates weren't able to continue Connor Joe's momentum as they lost to the Milwaukee Brewers by a final score of 4-3. This was a difficult loss. I don't expect really to beat the best teams in the Central right now because we're not one of the best teams in the Central. However, losing a game like this when you know you have a chance and just doing too little too late, it's very upsetting. So, yeah, disappointed. If we were disappointed then, we should be even more disappointed now. The Pirates on Wednesday, May the 15th, lost to the Milwaukee Brewers by a final score of 10-2. This was as disappointing as it gets. Martin Perez looked pathetic. It was as awful as you could get. It was actually a complete and total joke. Oh my God, sorry about that. It was a joke if you would ask me how played this game. Very disappointed by that. So yeah, not a big fan of how we played that day. We couldn't. It wasn't the hitting this game that baffled me. It was the pitching. I mean, Martin Perez is supposed to be a quality pitcher that's in the rotation, and he did anything but prove he was a quality pitcher during this game. That's what frustrates me. We have good pitching, and we proved earlier this year we could do it, and we still continue to prove we could do it. It's just games like this really deter you and make you frustrated. So yeah, disappointing. And I thought at this point, not only was the road trip over, but the season was over. We were well under 500. And we weren't doing anything. So definitely a disappointing day. And yeah, going down to Chicago, definitely not how you would want to go down there. So very disappointing for sure. Then May 16th, the Pirates turned it on, defeating the Chicago Cubs by a final score of 5-4. Jared Jones pitched this game here in the win. He showed what he could be, and that's a quality number 1 starter. Very impressed to see Jones's performance, how well he pitched, so definitely good things from him. I'm glad he's going to be one of the anchors of this rotation for years to come. So yeah, I was definitely thrilled to see that. But 5-4, I mean, it was a close game. We dominated the whole game. I mean, the score is looks closer than what it actually was. I was listening to this game. I was following this one. This was one of the ones that I didn't get to watch, but it was disappointing. The score was closer than it was because I thought we played a much better game. But a win's a win. Big win for sure. Friday, May 17th. Sorry, I dropped some. Just real quick. It's okay. Nothing serious. But anyway, the Pirates beat the Cubs by a final score of 9-3 on Friday, May 17th. This was Paul Skeens' second start in the majors. Definitely was a good one for sure. And I noticed this too. You saw the score, 9-3. Look at the Pirates' other games, how many runs they score. 3, 2. You get sometimes 0 runs here, like to the Angels. We'll get into Saturday, but they scored 0 runs Saturday. Oakland A's, May 1st, didn't score a run. I'm telling you, this team plays with more energy when Paul Skeens is on the mound. But there's no doubt about it. This team plays with so much more energy when he's on the mound. You love to see it. Late in the game, it looked like we kind of were going to blow it because Chicago got momentum. And let me just say, Cubs fans are super energetic. Cubs fans and Phillies fans, again, I just watch those two teams a fair amount, and when I see them, their fans are like loud, they're into it and all that. I'm not saying other fan bases aren't. I'm sure like Dodgers, Yankees, Red Sox fans are into it too. But Cubs fans, they get into it. And like when we were hitting them for 7 innings and up like 8 or 9-0, when they got their first hit, the crowd erupted into cheers. It felt loud. That's the kind of culture. They just got a hit. They were down big. But that's the kind of culture we need here. Yes, people should be ridiculed when they don't do their jobs. However, they weren't like booing. They weren't like screaming. They weren't like shouting. They cheered because they got a hit. They get into the games. And even like when they started scoring runs and stuff, they knew they were down big, but they just felt something. That crowd brought the energy, and I hope Pittsburgh gets the kind of crowd that brings the energy, just like the Cubs did there soon. But 9-3 was your final. Skeens got the win. Definitely a good one, so yeah. Then yesterday was a mess. But one positive thing about yesterday before we get into the call and all that, Bailey Falter pitched amazing. You gotta love seeing how Bailey Falter has pitched, and we should appreciate it. This guy... I remember last year at the deadline reading all the tweets and stuff saying that if we could get anything for Falter, it would be good. We gave them Rodolfo Castro. I haven't heard anything about him in Philadelphia. Falter's actually done something here. I know we were on him last year and earlier in the year, but he's actually done a nice job. You can't say much bad things about him the way he's been pitching. He's truly done good. So it was a good game by Falter. However, controversial call at the plate, which it was very controversial. You cannot expect the player to slide into the catcher like that. If they don't call that, I think, again, teams just need to start doing whatever. If they're not going to call it, then don't even worry about that rule, because that's essentially what it's saying. Like, you could just run into the catcher and get away with it. I was not a fan of that call. I was furious like most other Pirate fans were. That cost us the game. But at the same time, we need to remember you can't score with no offense. After putting up 9 runs, this team showed literally no offense, and that was disappointing for sure. You need to score early and score often. It would have prevented something like this. Credit to Soda Imanga. He's been one of the best pitchers, if not the best pitcher this year, so I give him a lot of credit for that, but we got to score. We got to score. If this club wants to take the next steps, which I don't think they're ready to take yet considering the way they've played this year, we got to score. But disappointing for sure to lose a game in that kind of fashion. And we'll see what happens if the MLB does anything about it, if the Pirates do anything about it to challenge it or just take a look at it. But just bad umpiring. You're always going to have that. I've learned it many times. You saw back in, I know I'm going to take another sport here, but you saw back in 2019 2019, the NFC Championship, the Rams and the Saints, how Saints were screwed. You saw in 2023 how Cowboys against the Lions earlier this year, the Lions were kind of screwed there. It always catches up to you. It's going to catch up, unfortunately, to Chicago. I'm a Cubs fan, second to the Pirates. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but it's going to catch up to the Cubs, and the Pirates will be fine. They have many more opportunities. This game's not one I'm sweating over, just like the loss to Milwaukee's not one I'm sweating over. Games I'm sweating over are like May 12th against the Cubs. That was bad. Had the chance and we blew it. May 8th against the Angels, had the chance, blew it. May 3rd, Rockies, blew it. Should have taken 2 out of 3 from the A's. Should have taken at least one more of those games against the Giants. April 25th against the Brewers. April 24th against the Brewers. One of those games against the Mets. Should have won that Phillies game April 13th. Tigers game April 9th. Yeah, those are the games I'm sweating. I'm not really sweating these two right here. That Brewers game or that Cubs game. Not at all, but yeah. Then today, Mitch Keller pitched a gem. Jack Sawinski played hard, hit a home run. Pirates beat the Cubs by a final score of 3-2. David Bednar did an amazing job getting the save. Love the way this team played today. It was so refreshing to see them play like this. So great job to the Pirates for sure. Proved me wrong big time. I predicted a 1-6 record on this road trip. They were 4-3, so congratulations to them. The fan 90% of the fan anchor Adam Crowley pointed out on Twitter that this was a crucial 10-game stretch starting May the 10th against the Cubs to the 19th. Pirates went 5-5 in that stretch. That's not bad. That's not great. I actually would consider it pretty good, to be honest with you, considering the two of the better teams. They prove they can hang in there with good teams. That's what matters. We just got to start taking advantage now of opportunities that against lesser teams, because that's where you gain your ground. That's where you gain your ground. The tough part of the schedule, or the tough part of now, is somewhat over. We got it a little easier. We'll get to that in a minute, but first off, let's take a look at the MLB standings. Padres are already up 8-0 on the Braves for Sunday Night Baseball. If you're following that, that's on ESPN. All right, your current standings are as follows. AL East, Yankees lead that division, 33-15. Orioles are second, 29-15. Rays are third, 25-23. Red Sox are fourth, 23-24. And Blue Jays are fifth, 20-25. AL Central time now. Guardians, they lead that division, 30-17. Royals are in second with 29-19. Twins, third place, 24-22. Tigers are in fourth place at a .500 record, 23-23. And in fifth place are your White Sox at 14-33. On to the AL West now. We got the Seattle Mariners are 25-22. Leading that division. Rangers, they are .500 in second place. Game and a half back. I forgot to tell you the game's back. We'll do that in a minute after this division. But they're .500 at 24-24. Game and a half back. Astros 21-26, 4 back. A's 19-37 back. Angels 18-29, 7 back. Alrighty, Orioles 2 games back at the Yankees. Rays are 8 games back. 9.5 back are the Red Sox, and 11.5 back are the Blue Jays. El Central 1.5 back are the Royals. 12.5 back are the Twins. 6.5 back are the Detroit Tigers, and 16 back are the White Sox. Then we did the West. NL time, NL East. Number 1, Philadelphia Phillies. They've been really impressive. Having a great year for sure. All the bats, Alec Bohm, Brandon Bartz, Bryce Harper, all those guys, they're doing amazing. They're 34-14 right now, looking real pretty. Number 2, we got the Atlanta Braves sitting nice and pretty as well at 26-15. They're 4.5 back. Number 3 are the New York Mets at 21-25. They're 12 games back of the division-leading Phillies. Number 4 at 20-25, the Washington Nationals. 20-25, 12.5 back. Not looking too good. I thought that'd be better, but who knows. And last place, 15-33, are the Miami Marlins. They're 19 games back. NL Central leading that division, we got the Milwaukee Brewers at 27-19. Second place, Chicago Cubs, 26-22, 2 games back. Third place, Pittsburgh Pirates, 22-26, 6 games back. Fourth place, got the 2026 Cardinals, 7 back. And in fifth place, we got the Reds at 19-28, 8.5 games back. So there you have that division. On to the NL West now. We got the Los Angeles Dodgers sitting nice and pretty, 32-17. They lead that division by a comfortable margin, as you will probably tell once I go through these other teams. Number 2, you got the San Diego Padres, 23-24, 8 games back. Number 3, you got the Giants, San Francisco. They're 23-25, 8.5 games back. Number 4, Diamondbacks, 22-25, 9 games back. And last place are the Rockies, 15-31, 15.5 games back. Let's look at the wild card chase now, shall we? AL leaders, we got the Yankees. Number 1, we got the Guardians. Number 2. Playoff matchups is if the season were to end today, you would have the 6-seeded Twins and the 3-seeded Mariners. And then you'd have the 5-seeded Royals and the 4-seeded Baltimore Orioles. Right with them and barely on the outside looking in are the Tampa Bay Rays, 25-23. They're even with the Twins for that last wildcard spot. 1 game back are the Rangers. 1 game back are the Tigers. A game and a half back are the Red Sox. 3.5 back are the Astros. They're plugging away. They're getting better, so that'll be interesting to see. I think they make a really run and get in. I do. Blue Jays, 3.5 back. Oakland A's, 6.5 back. Angels, 6.5 back. White Sox, 10.5 back. NL leaders right now. It's time for the NL. Let's look at that. Number 1 seed, the best team in the league as well, the Philadelphia Phillies. They would get a bye as the 1 seed. Number 2, you got the LA Dodgers. Alrighty, number 6 seed is the San Diego Padres, and they would play the number 3 seed Milwaukee Brewers. Number 4 seed, the Atlanta Braves, would host the number 5 seed Chicago Cubs. Those would be your playoff matchups if the season ended today. And unfortunately, the Padres are winning, so Pittsburgh ain't going to gain any ground. Alright, these will probably all change as a result of the Padres winning. They will become... The half game will go away, and yeah, you just add a half game because the Padres are probably going to win. Giants are 23 and 25. They're most likely going to be a game back when it's all said and done. 22 and 25 are the Diamondbacks. They will be a game and a half back. Pirates, 22 and 26. We will be 2 games back at the end of the night. That's if the Padres hold on to an 8-0 lead, which I think they will. Mets, they will be 2 games back at 21 and 25. Nationals, they'll be 2.5 back at 20 and 25. 3 games back will be the Cardinals. At 4.5 back will be the Reds. At 8 back will be the Rockies. And at 9 back will be the Marlins. At this point, it feels like, barring a massive late comeback, the Marlins, Rockies, Angels, White Sox, and A's are teams I can all say with confidence are going to most likely miss the playoffs in their respective conferences. You can make that argument for the Reds because time's running out for them, but they're a good team, and they'll get hot once everybody gets better. It's good. It might be a long season. They might be delayed to like 2025, 2026. I truly did think they could be this year's Orioles, but it's not looking that way, unfortunately. This isn't where we pounce. I mean, we could be really something special right now if we get our act together. 2 games back is not bad at all. We just got to stay 2 games back. We cannot fall further behind the Padres. Alrighty, now looking at the week ahead, 6 games against 2 quality teams. I'd like to go 4-2 in this stretch. If we can do that, that'd be amazing. That'd be crucial. Starting off Tuesday night, we play the San Francisco Giants. Those games will be Tuesday 6:40, Wednesday 6:40, and Thursday 12:35 p.m. It's going to be an interesting series for sure. It's going to be very good matchups we're going to get here. I'm thinking you're going to get some quality pitching, that's for sure. Except for Tuesday when Martin Perez pitches, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Hopefully it's a better outing than last time. Perez will pitch Tuesday, it looks like. Wednesday you're going to get Jared Jones. Thursday you're going to get Paul Skeens. That's a good mix there. I would expect to take 2 out of 3 from the Giants, and that will be crucial. So I'm super pumped about that. So that's really good as well. So Giants series, hopefully we can take 2 out of 3 there. Then this weekend, we do have a little bit of a daunting task in the Atlanta Braves. Friday at 6:40, Saturday at 4:05, Sunday at 1:35 p.m. It's going to be a fun time for sure. Hopefully they do good those games. Looks like you're going to get Bailey Falter Friday, Mitch Keller Saturday, and then Martin Perez on Sunday. Again, hopefully when Falter and Keller on the mound, we could take those 2 games. That'd be very good if we could take them. That would be great. So, yeah, definitely for sure. So, if we can go 4-2 this stretch, we right now I think are 22 and 25. Yeah, if we go 4-2. That puts you at 26 and 28. And on Memorial Day, that's not bad at all. So, I feel like we have to go 4-2 this stretch to give me some hope. If not, if we go 3-3, yeah, I'll take it. I won't be happy, but I'll take it. But yeah, I looked back. Yeah, it concerns me because, again, like I said, I was thinking back, and the 2022 team following their games against the Diamondbacks, I think let me look. I need to, sorry. That was not the best of years for me for 2022. So plus in the rearview mirror. 2022, here we go, 2022. All right, this is calendar. After Sunday, June 5th, 2022, when the Pirates played the Diamondbacks, we were sitting at 24-28. If this year's team goes 2-2 over their next 4 games, the 3 against the Giants and then the 1 against the Braves, they will be sitting at 24-28. That's a little concerning because if you're going to have that record in 2022 and that team won 62 and 100, and you're going to have that record in 2024, I'm not saying this team's going to go 62 and 100 because I think they'll be better than that. They were 76 and 86 last year without O'Neal Cruz, without Paul Skeens, without Jared Jones. So why are things getting worse? That's the issue. But anyway, I don't want to be 24-28. I think we need to be better than that. Right now, we'd have 28 games we would be 28-20 if things were going well. However, they're not going perfect. That's the problem right now, and we're 22-26. I feel like we got to do better. I feel like we got to pull harder. We have to have a solid June. And if not, the season's derailed. It's going to all come down to, once this weekend passes, or once next weekend passes and we're done in Toronto, because after this week, after Atlanta, we play Detroit, then Toronto. It gets relatively more stable. Gets better. Our June schedule after Toronto. Hang on, let me get this up. It's rocky at first because we have the Dodgers and the Twins. That'll be a tough stretch for sure. But we play better against better teams, so who knows? Dodgers, Twins. Then it's at the Cardinals, at the Rockies. Then it's home against the Reds. Home against the Rays. At the Reds, at the Braves. We got to win at least half the games in June. If not more. If we're going into June, say 28 and 31, and we win half the games in June, I'll be somewhat optimistic if we could have an average July. If we could have an average, finish the month of May 8 and 7, 8 and 6 maybe. Have an average June, have an average July. Really start to kick it on in August. Have a hot September. That's what will make me optimistic about the remainder of the year. And that's what I think we have to have. And that all starts hopefully this week against San Francisco. And that's all I have for you guys today. I hope it goes well. Hopefully this week goes well. Have a good week, everybody. Take care. Stay safe. And as always, peace. See you guys next week.